Number 22, simplify to its lowest value what is I to the 19th. Well, if you remember, if you have just a single I, well, that's worth I, which is really square root of -1. If I have I squared, what is I squared? If that's what's left over, what is that worth? Well, I squared is worth -1. I cubed is worth a negative I, and I to the fourth is worth 1. And that's the key, I to the fourth being worth 1. So if I list out all these 19 I's, if I did that, I'm not going to, but if I did, every 4, he's worth 1. Every 4, he's worth 1. Every 4, he's worth 1. So you just end up with 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times whatever you have left over. So you're either going to be left over with nothing or 1 or 2 or 3. Never left over with 4 because every 4 becomes worth the number 1. So all we do is we take our calculator, we do 19 divided by 4. In this case, that would give us 4.75. This right here tells me how many were left over. If there's nothing left over, you know it's just a perfect set of 4s, and so everybody's worth 1, and 1 multiplied out a million times is still 1. But in this case, we had 75 cents left over. How many quarters is that? 3. That means if I did I to the 19th, I would have had 3 guys left over. And what is, so that's I to the third left over. Everybody else was 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. But then I had this left over. So this answer to here, what we want to put is negative I. That is the answer to 22. 23. Well, we have a binomial times binomial. So 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times negative 2i is minus 8i. Negative 3i times 5 is minus 15i. And then negative 3i times negative 2. Negative times negative is positive. 3 times 2 is 6. And we have an I times I, which is I squared. But what is I squared worth? It's worth a -1. So this plus a 6 really gets changed to a -6. Now, if we put our numbers together, 20 minus the 6 is 14. Negative 8i minus 15i is minus 22i. And there's your answer to 23. The key being that when I multiply this and this together, I'm going to get an I squared, which is going to be worth -1, and it's going to change the value of whatever sign you have right there.